Yes, people, it's James with the final mix, and today we're talking to Segway. He's come from Cali to the UK, and yeah, I want to unpack his time in London, how he's produced some big songs from the likes of ONEFOUR and Nemzzz to Kidwild. So we're with Segway. You're from San Francisco.
I am, yeah.
How old are you?
22 right now.
22.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You're doing all of this. So yeah, and you started out on GarageBand, I believe.
I did,
so
yeah.
Like, at what point, when you were like playing around on GarageBand, did you then realize like, this is for me?
I mean, it took like a few weeks of good practice, I won't lie, because when you're on GarageBand trying to produce, you're very limited to what you can do, but it's about how you use those limitations to your advantage, and you don't want to stay stuck. But it was also just because I couldn't afford a laptop at the time. I was broke. I was like a freshman in high school, so you got no bread, so you gotta make do with what you can. I really wanted to create music because I was listening to a lot of artists at the time, thinking, how do they do that? How do they like come up with all of this and making the sounds? So I'm like, why don't I try it?
Yeah. Have you used any of like those inspirations from when you were using GarageBand in some of your production nowadays?
All the
like,
time.
Do you go back to it?
All the time. You get inspiration from everywhere, but I feel like that changes the more you grow, the more you age as a person.
Yeah.
You get inspired by different things.
So I presume you were using that until around 2023, was it, when you started you decided to take it as a profession?
Yeah, well, I say 2023 because 2023 I saw my first like few sales bits here and there from like BeatStars and whatnot, and that got me thinking like, dang, I could like actually turn this into a career. If people want to buy my work, let me actually scale this up further than what I got going on right now. Like, I should actually take this seriously if I can do this.
Yeah, you've been back in London now for a few days. So do you have any highlights of the city itself?
Highlights of the city, I'd say like there's so much culture and diversity here, like all in one spot. Like London is crammed, but it's crammed with like all different kinds of people. Like you're never not gonna find like you're always gonna find like one of everything. You know what I mean? Like you find one of everything. Like when it comes to people, food, lifestyle, and everything, everyone lives a different way, eats different things. Everyone's just different here. So it's like, it's really like, it's not boring.
So you'd agree that Lebanese grill unites the country?
Yeah, I'd say it united me with this country. Like, Leb Grill changed me, man.
What's the order?
Oh, the go-to order for Leb Grill. I would either get a half chicken with some chips and what else did they give you on the side? It's a half chicken with chips, and then there's a salad stuff that they give you, like with the cucumbers and all that. I get that, or I get a lamb sheesh too. So it's the lamb sheesh with some chips and that salad stuff, and then I think they also give out like coleslaw at some places. So I've seen that, but I haven't tried it myself. But yeah, that's like usual two orders.
Do you think that, like, I'd say the recent years of like New York drill compared to UK, which city do you think has managed to carry like the torch a bit on to sort of bring up this new age?
I would say it's a bit of influence from both. I think New York and UK, they're both cities that like to take credit about taking the place of drill, but I don't think one has done it any better than the other. I think that now a lot more Americans are starting to realize what we have going on like up here in the UK, with people like Central C and Nemzzz taking the torch on the new generation of drill. Now you have like more people coming up in the underground scene, like SD Kid, Rico Ace, all the underground ones that have derivative off of this new generation of drill. But obviously that came with years and years of actual like more drill tracks coming out from like 2016, 2012, which obviously I wasn't around for, but I'm sure that there was a lot of stuff leading up to it. But now, these days, I feel like a lot more Americans are giving UK artists more credit, and then it's like vice versa, which I think the scene is like a lot healthier now versus maybe just a couple years ago where everyone was trying to like bring each other down and just take credit for, oh, I did this better, oh, I did this better, but it's not like that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, because like like obviously here we got like a rich history of like older generation rappers and stuff, and they would never. Like, I remember the think pieces people being like, oh yeah, like we can't understand what they're saying, all this, which I just think is nonsense. So
Yeah.
it's not that hard to comprehend. So you've got people now like you've got like Blade Brown collaborating with Benny the Butcher. You got Skepta's been like dealing with America for years now, and it's like, do you think that drill production as a whole has made it more palatable for Americans?
More palatable in what way, though?
Like, do you think they find it an easier listen as compared to the older generation of styles that we have here?
I think that, in my opinion, a lot of the drill that's coming out these days, especially this new generation, is a lot easier on people's ears than it was just a few years ago. Just a few years ago, I'd say maybe even like 2021, 2020, New York drill kind of took like a dark turn. Like it was kind of like the UK back then, where everything was just about, you know, killing, gunshots, this violence. Oh, I'm gonna like, you know, hit a lick on you and everything like that. But I didn't like any of that. The only thing I liked about these elements was the drum bounces. That's literally it. I didn't like any of the melodic components, the lyrical components, or anything like that. I'm more of like a laid back kind of guy. So I decided to just like take inspiration off of like purely the drum bounce and just like make a more alternative R&B poppy kind of style like onto the same bounce, which makes me feel a lot better about the genre. And I think that now a lot of people are starting to get introduced into this new drill wave, even not even through me, but with people like Central C, NEMZZ, everything like that, which again are the people carrying the torches right now in this new generation. But yeah, I would say like they're also like really trying to push themselves out, not just to UK, but like worldwide now. Like even like Central C, he's global now. I think now NEMZZ is like actually starting to see his spotlight now over in the States these days.
Yeah, and as well, being like from San Francisco, a lot of your like production does sound really heavily influenced by the UK. So, like, do you have anyone in mind who sort of made that sort of inspiration come to life within your music?
From the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. I would say like Nux Saint, because they were like the first two people that I got into from the UK, because we don't have anything like that back in the States. And I just needed something different for taste of music, so I found out about Nux and Saint. Then I just went down this whole rabbit hole. You found out about like Ashbeck, Sam Rex. Then I found out about like NEMZZ and everybody else around the circle. And that's when I was too deep in it.
Yeah. So how did that? So obviously you found out about NEMZZ through that, and we've seen what you can put together like through that relationship. You went #1 on that.
I did,
as well,
yeah.
Congratulations. So yeah, it's like, how did that relationship come about?
So NEMZZ actually found me from my YouTube channel. So I started putting out NEMZZ type beats back in like same year, 2023. And then it only took me about a few months for my channel to actually grow rapidly. And then at that point, that was when NEMZZ found me off of my channel after doing his type of beats for a while. And he reached out to me personally via Instagram DMs, trying to ask me for a couple beats, and then we exchanged contact information. But it seemed like, at the time, it seemed way too natural to actually be true. But until I realized, like, dang, like this NEMZZ guy, he's actually a genuine dude. Like, you don't see that from a lot of people who have that kind of status. Like, I mean, this guy has like 6 million monthly listeners right now. Like, a lot of people back home who have that kind of monthly listeners, like, they wouldn't like do what he did. They wouldn't reach out to the smaller guys. So the fact that he did was, you know, really genuine.
Well, before you mentioned like sort of taking inspiration from Nux and Saint and that wave. It's like, do you have any of those artists who you like have in the pipeline to work with soon?
Well, obviously, once you get into the industry, you get a bunch of links and connects to these people you end up working with. And so far, throughout this week, I got a chance to meet like really cool artists that just a year ago I haven't got a chance to meet. I recently just linked up with T-Skins and JG. I don't know if you guys know them, but they're cold. And I got into them while I was also listening to like Nux and Saint in that era. And just being in the room with them is really cool, going from a fan of their work to actually being able to like produce with these people. And I already project that within the next coming days, coming weeks, I'm going to get that opportunity to work with more and more people and sit down with them, which is, you know, what makes me happy and what makes me get up every day, you know.
So you were probably at what, like 21 when you got your first #1?
Yeah, I was 21, yeah.
That's insane. So how was that like as an experience, getting that through the post?
I mean, I never expected it. Like, I think what had happened is like Nemzzz told me to send one of the beats that he found on my channel. He told me to send the stems to those beats over to his main producer, Zell, who he works with a lot. And I think Zell kind of just touched up on that, added a few bits here and there. And then next thing you know, that's how I ended up getting one on his Rent's Due album, which he dropped last year. And that ended up going #1 on the UK hip hop and R&B charts albums. So that was a really great experience. I never expected that. I remember like when I saw that #1 chart, I was out with my family like in some like small town like 2 hours away, and I was looking at the chart and I was like, wow, what the hell? Like, I don't even know what to say. So it's just really unexpected, but really good to see.
There's another one that I've been listening to. In the way it was the one with ONEFOUR.
Spinnin', yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, so it's obviously a remix, wasn't it? So it's like,
yeah.
Like, do you like have like a sort of, like when you first heard the original, did you have like a realization that you could essentially improve the song?
Kind of, yeah. Like I made the Spinnin' remix beat. Like I just made it on some unserious shit. I'll be so real with you. Like, I've been listening. I'm like a big Drake fan, so I'm listening to a lot of his older albums, like Take Care, Thank Me Later, and all those albums. And I ran into one on one of these albums. The song's called Fancy by him and Swizz Beatz. I took the outro sample of that, and I wanted to make a beat out of that for a while, but I just didn't know what to do it on. But I took inspiration from the bounce of like the drill scene back here in the States, mainly in like New York, so they have that kind of like 1-2 stop and bounce kind of thing. And I threw that on top of there, and that just is how Spinnin' came about. I didn't have any expectations to make the song better or anything like that, but as soon as I posted it, I woke up the next morning, I saw the results for myself. It went from having like 5 posts to like 10K posts in like a week, and then 50K the next day, 100K, and then it kept climbing and climbing.
So wait, so I'm just going to track it back to the Fancy sample.
Yeah.
Because that's been used as well on that,
yeah.
on the NEMZZ song.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do you have any others where you've managed to sneak that into?
Other
songs where you've managed to sneak that sample into the production? It seems like a great bass layer.
Where I've managed to sneak Fancy into it, not as of right now. Spinnin's like the biggest one. I think Spinnin is the biggest one that uses that right now. It just reached 100 million streams like I think last week, so pretty good milestone for me. But yeah, I will say a lot of producers like to use the Fancy sample. It's like a really like synonymous, like easily flippable sample. You could throw any genre on that.
You love the old Drake albums. Like, what would you say is like your, like, would you say you have the biggest inspiration from production-wise?
Production-wise, I would say just like of all time, like Metro Boomin, Take Keith. You have like Jay Dilla. There's a few UK producers that I like too. I like M1 on the Beat is one of like the original OG like drill producers. Like I take a lot of inspo off of him. I think everybody here does. Hargo Production, he's pretty good too. I really like a lot of his stuff. X10, he got one with Digga D. He's like a lot of their production is really good. Like bassline, like I get a lot of inspiration between US production and UK production and kind of just like mix them together just to create my own thing, which I've heard people call it like the new generation on like drill, which is like this new alternative wave.
I think as well, like your story is like, I don't know how to say it, but like modern. Like you've come up of GarageBand, selling them online, using social media and things. Do you have any advice for other producers who want to start out today?
For all the other producers that want to start out today, I would say build a brand, because so many people are scared to post stuff. So many people are scared to post their first beat, post their face on camera, making the beat. So many people are scared to even make social media accounts in general. They just like produce for the fun of it, which is fine. But if you want to turn this out into a career and derive off of what you know that you're already capable of doing, you have to establish yourself as the brand and become the person that people like look up to by having that social media presence. I know like a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, I don't want to post on TikTok. I don't want to post on social media. I don't want to do this and this and this and that." But trust me, in this day and age, it's inevitable that you need to. And I've been posting to TikTok a few remixes lately, and they've all been going really crazy just because I've developed that ear for it. But I'm sure that if you start posting out actual content, give people a face to recognize you and your sound by, then you're going to be providing something of value to people that probably I can't even give them, because in the end of the day, you're unique. So
with that, we're gonna take a look at a step by step,
and I'm gonna show you guys how I made "Spinnin" by ONEFOUR and Nemzzz. So first, I started off with the sample. It's Fancy by Drake and Swiss Beats, but I pitched it down one, but now it kind of goes like. Is that I started off with a simple like jerk bounce kick drum pattern. Kind of just goes like this. Then I started adding different percussions, added the snap, the DJ scratches, and everything. And this is how just the percussion came about. But yeah, really not much was added to the beat apart from like all of those. So everything that came together so far sounds like this. That's the beat right there. Yeah, shout out Morella. Thank you guys for having me from San Francisco all the way to London. Thank you guys for taking me in.
Pause.
What? Oh, bro. Yo, why for that? That's what I'm learning here. Why for that? You guys should keep that in, bro.
Yeah, now we will.